Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock the city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here out around.
Hey everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this here be Hollywood.
Hi Hollywood, what kind of new equipment did you buy this past week?
This past week?
I don't know, recently?
Yeah, I got a new guitar.
Did you?
Did I tell you about that?
I think you did.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool story. I was on a chat room on Facebook talking about Hamer guitars. And I've got this like Hamer, copy of like a 330, ES335. And a friend of mine that I've known for quite a while, he calls me up out of the blue. He saw my post. I said, I'm looking for their version of a Les Paul Jr. because you don't want the cheap Indonesian ones. Right. And he calls me up and he goes, I have one. And I wasn't thinking about selling it. I know what it's worth, but I know you're going to play it. And it's been sitting in my closet for 10 years. I'd prefer somebody would play it. So he sold it to me at a spectacular, proud new owner of a 1993 Hamer Special.
Wow, very nice.
I absolutely love it.
I figured you bought something. I just had a feeling.
Yeah. You went shopping too, though, but you went with a friend. Didn't your friend buy a guitar?
Yeah, a buddy of mine bought one.
Yeah, a Schecter or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that how you say that? I don't even know.
Where is
Yeah.
that?
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he just came all the way out to Joliet. He lives in Cedar Lake. He drove all the way out here to get it.
Wow. For a Schecter?
Yeah. he was actually looking at a different one, and he wound up getting that one.
'Cause I was going to say, almost any street corner you can find a Schecter.
He liked it. He likes it, so that's all that matters. He just.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
He's learning. He likes the sound. He likes them. Whatever.
It was about the trip. It was about having fun.
I told him to go to Sweetwater.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody from Sweetwater is listening, we are looking for sponsors.
Yeah.
So, but there's a bunch of guys in here, and we're just sitting here laughing at us like we're.
Yeah.
What was that for?
It's a Freebyrd.
Well, joining us tonight is Free by RD. Which one of you guys is RD?
It is Free by RD.
Yeah, it says Free by RD.
That's like
or is that free?
That's like a free by RD. That's like a 1957 grocery store commercial. It's free by RD, everybody.
Get your what are those things? The circle noodles with the
Chef Boyardee.
Ramen.
the Chef Boyardee stuff.
I
Yeah.
have no idea where we're going.
I don't either. How you doing? It's Freebyrd.
Good.
Freebyrd.
Hey!
Yeah.
In studio audience live.
That's right. Yeah.
Woo.
Every tribute band shows up with drunk assholes. Every one of them.
And they're all guys.
All guys.
All guys, no
Yeah.
chicks.
And we're one of them.
Yeah. So how you guys? Is this everybody?
No, we're short a bass player.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's with bass players?
Oh,
No, the last
Bass
band we
players-
didn't have a bass player
Bass
either.
players don't want to come out. I don't know what it is. Gosh, freaking bass players. All right, so let's go around and do the kindergarten thing. Let's start over here and tell everybody your name and what you do so I can forget it.
Okay. One of the guitar players.
Grab the microphone. Just
Speak into it.
Yeah.
Ken Erickson, I'm one of the guitar players in the band.
all righty.
Stan Carr is the keyboard player in the band.
I knew he was the keyboard player
Did you?
when he walked in. All keyboard players show up with a pork pie hat on.
All right, we'll let Mike have a guess then at what I do.
Singer.
Let's
No.
try though.
No.
Drummer.
Rob Mazur, drum.
Drummer. Okay. Well, I didn't know because he automatically grabbed the microphone, and normally the last thing you want to do is put a microphone in front of your drummer's
Exactly.
face.
We've said that.
That's the last thing you want to do.
There it is.
I'm Kevin Wierzak. I play guitar.
All right.
I'm Mitch Wierzak. I play guitar.
So who sings?
Mel Stoller. He's not here.
Yeah, he's not
The
here.
bass player.
No.
No. See, all right. If we're going to do this right, then stop fucking with me because I asked you, player.
He's not here.
We forgot about the singer.
Yeah, at least.
Oh, so there's two people not here.
Wow.
Yep.
Mel's a terrific singer. He's a traveling salesman, so
Okay.
it's hard to nail him down during the week.
I understand
okay.
that.
He's
I understand.
constantly on the road. So
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And what's the bass player's name?
Johnny
Okay.
Wesley.
Excellent. Excellent. So you guys have a full stage of musicians, just like the real Lynyrd Skynyrd, huh?
Yeah.
So who started this whole shindig?
Well, I did it. I had the idea for like 3 years, but I was into classic rock pretty good. And then it started to be like a revolving door with drummers. And I just said, you know what? I don't want to do this again. Tribute started taking off. I thought, who do I want to be a tribute to? And I went back to my roots, which is Southern rock. And I said, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
Yeah.
And of course, best.
Well,
Yeah.
we like to think so.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So give us the whole story. How did this whole thing come together?
Well, I got the idea. The singer was in my classic rock band, Speed of Sound. And I started putting it out in band mix. And actually, Mitch was the first one that answered. And I was looking through band mix, and he had the Rebel flag, and his name's Hooch. And he played slide guitar, and he loved Skynyrd. And I was like, I got to call this guy. So I called him, and he says, yeah, I'm in. And then Chris, he's a member. He's our bass player, Chris McPherson.
Okay.
He left the band. He moved to Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
Okay.
So obviously he left. And then we had Chris, we had another drummer, and then we had 2 guitars. The 5 of us, no keyboard player yet. And then we got this one guitar player in. He was okay, but he wasn't a lead player. And I knew being in Skynyrd, you'd have to have a lead player. So I had to let him go. And then Mitch goes, oh, really? He goes, well, my guitar player, would you mind if he came into the band? And I go, Mitch, if he's available for rehearsal and gigs, I have no problem with it. So Kevin comes into rehearsal. We rehearsed at Ranger in Franklin Park.
Okay.
He walks in, sets up his gear, and rips into Eruption.
Fitting.
Yeah. And I look over at him and I go, you're in.
Wow. So I'm assuming he's talking about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that explains the age difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, my dad, obviously. So he's like, hey, come jam. I came and I never left. So
Yeah.
Only thing that you do, or do you work with other bands?
I was in another band previously. Actually, my dad was in it as well.
Okay. I'm
but
starting to notice a pattern.
that is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, bands, there's always a revolving door going around with some bands, especially local bands. So there's kind of always a spot open where it's like, hey, I'll ask my dad. He's like, I'll ask my son. So it just makes everybody's life easier, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you love Lynyrd Skynyrd music before?
Oh, yeah.
The rest? You did? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
growing up, I mean, one of my earliest memories was he had a 69 Ford Bronco. And I was about probably 6, maybe. Just summer day, no soft top on it.
Yeah.
And you had Second Helping on the cassette. And I knew Working for MCA was the first song. And then I knew Call Me the Breeze was somewhere down the line.
Right.
I think it's like track 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
And when we were driving, I just listened to the Bronco. It's like I wanted to hear Working for MCA like right away. And then I would skip everything else and go right to Breeze.
Yeah.
So early age, that's where I got hooked on it, playing guitar, hard rock music, all of it.
All right. So, I mean, you went into this, willingly. Nobody's holding a gun to your head or
Nope.
anything. You're saying, okay.
No.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because face it, it's kind of rare. You get how old are you?
29.
Yeah. So yeah, you get a 29-year-old that rips in, plays Eruption, and it says, well, son, I'm sorry to tell you this, but we're playing Lynyrd Skynyrd.
But he was playing Eruption like 8 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Well, you got kids on Instagram that can do that. No problem. I mean,
Well, you had a story with Zach Wild loving one of your solos or something like that. What was that?
Yeah.
Mitch told me about that.
oh yeah, I posted a video of myself on Instagram playing a Zach Wild solo, and he commented on it, and I was like so stoked
Wow.
about it. Yeah, it's
That's
just
really cool.
something, it's not that big a
Zach
deal, I
Wild
think.
commented on you playing his solo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked the video and everything, and that was pretty cool. That was my 15 minutes right there.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. That's
Kevin's
pretty
he's a great addition to the band. I mean, he is all over the place on stage.
cool. Yeah.
He's just a phenomenal performer.
Yeah.
I just love it. I
And all
really
these
do.
other guys we're attracting a younger class of women too.
Yeah.
That's right.
You would think, but you're wrong. I got my mom there.
We have Slayer fans because every time we're on stage, everyone screams out Slayer.
Something about Slayer. I don't. Yeah, like
Really?
last gig at the Arcada. Slayer. It's like, what is with you guys in Slayer?
We were at the Rock and Roll, what was it? The museum, the historic museum. Somebody screaming out Slayer.
Yeah.
At the museum.
So we got to learn Angel of Death or something.
Yeah, right.
You can do it. You can do it, Rob.
Yeah, you have to. You have to just to tease them with something. But that is weird. That is strange.
Yeah.
People are yelling Slayer.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people come up to us, and they're like, well, when someone yells out Freebyrd, you guys can actually play the song now instead of it being like this thing everybody says.
But do you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we tease the crowd. But
Yeah. You do the entire song though.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Kevin tears it up.
Yeah.
And these two guys have the unison guitar parts.
Right.
I come in on the end, but they tear it up.
Yeah. No, I was.
Stan has a great piano intro and solo too in the song.
Yeah.
We follow the arrangement of the live where Billy starts out and then solo and then
Right.
Kevin and Mitch take off at the end. It's very cool.
No, I get it. I was in a band before where we would only play it if somebody yelled it out. And believe it or not, people don't always yell it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, since the name of the band is Freebyrd and you're a Lynyrd Skynyrd Tribute band, it would be just like to say, yeah, we don't play that song. and just don't do it. We do everyone but that.
No, he says, we'll learn that one for next time or something like that.
Yeah. Or what would be even better, if somebody yells out Freebyrd and you play Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, right.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Do the Stairway to Heaven solo in Freebyrd, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird.
Well, you can learn it because I ain't. So.
Yeah. No.
All right, so he joins the band. Who's next?
It was Stan, another band mix find. I'd seen Stan's band mix. He's baby grand piano, and he's just playing like crazy. And I'm going, this is the guy. This is the guy. So I tracked him down through Facebook, and his phone number was on there. And I call him up, and he's like, who are you? I go, I'm Ken. I got this really killer band. It's a Lynyrd Skynyrd Tribute band. I've been really busy. I go down to Nashville once a month, and he's got a songwriting team that he meets every month in Nashville, and they write songs. You actually have some songs published on the radio, right? Yeah. So after bugging Stan for, I don't know, almost 2 months, I caught him in the car coming back from Nashville. He goes, okay, send me a video or something. And I said, Stan, this is the perfect band for you. Trust me. He says, all right, I'll give it a try. I said, learn these 5 songs and come to practice. We rehearsed at the Jam Lab, Conlon Pedrick's place in Brookfield. Recorded there, so he knew exactly where it was. I told him, I said, you know where we're playing, come on out. So he came out, and Stan walks in. It was like he's been in the band for the whole time, just perfectly fit. And he just like, I am so glad I'm in this band. I just love this band.
Wow, excellent. So you guys are having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So what's the philosophy of the band? When you talk to tribute bands, a lot of times we do the early stuff only, or we either do their later stuff only. I mean, is there something that you won't do?
No. Unfortunately for Skynyrd, the actual Skynyrd band we covered, the 70s Skynyrd, there's only like 4 or 5 albums.
Right.
We are working on some from the later album, but we're working on more songs to kind of just stay Skynyrd. When we do like 3 now, we got to step out of the box because we haven't learned enough for that. But we still stay Southern rock. These 2 guys just blow over Flirting with Disaster when we do it.
Nice.
I mean, it's like crazy.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah. But we're reverting. We're learning, what is it, 5 new ones now?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
That's a couple.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah.
What are they? What's the set list like?
The new ones we're learning is Still Unbroken. What else is it? Down South Jukin.
Curtis Lowe. requested constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
And,
That's the one everybody yells out.
Yeah,
I don't know, I don't know what it is. That's the one that they want to hear. I don't know if it's. I don't know that they feel like it's more soulful. I don't know what it is about that song.
The other ones, you got that right. We'll probably do a few more off of Street Survivors, but we have some earlier Skynyrd that we're going to revisit.
Right.
So,
Okay.
it's all great.
What are the other when you have to stray kind of off the path of Skynyrd? What are some of the other bands you're covering?
ZZ Top, Molly Hatchet, and that's a.
Yeah.
Oh, we do that. Well, we do the Train.
Train.
Blackfoot.
Blackfoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you're kind of keeping it all together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People are surprised, but I was a little hesitant, but we had to do it that way, And so the first show we did outside of Skynyrd, everybody liked how you did this and did that, and I was like, okay, I felt a little easier with that, but we had no choice actually.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Sometimes it works that way.
Yeah.
So how long has the band been together?
Well, my first contact was Mitch. I think that was in 2019.
19.
Okay.
That was in August. December, we were pretty tight with not everybody, but we were starting to book shows, and then COVID hit our shores, and then everything got cut off for like a strong year. I mean, we couldn't even rehearse. Our rehearsal facility was shut. We're texting each other. We still stayed in touch, and our first show was Tailgaters in 2021, I think. 2020.
Yep.
2021.
Yeah.
It's our first show Memorial Weekend.
Okay.
We've been going pretty strong ever since. We've had some band changes.
Your very ever was Tailgaters.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you obviously have connections with guys at Tailgaters and everybody.
Yeah, we got that through an agent. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Rockin' Wheels was the third one.
yeah, Rockin' Wheels are the third one.
Addison.
I live in Addison,
Okay.
and so I started that Rockin' Wheels event 15 years now.
Oh wow.
It
Okay.
used to be there was a little gazebo in the park, and Angelo Sorsi called me up, and he goes, I'm thinking of doing something to bring the community together. How about Tuesday night's concert in the park? So it started with everybody just playing in this little gazebo, and there's like 50 people. Then it got to a point now where the village spent almost $3 million on the park, and they're getting national acts to play there.
No kidding.
Wow.
So it's grown like from 50 people to as much as 4,000. And I'm pretty proud of that.
Where's that park located?
It's One Friendship Plaza in Addison. Right behind
okay. Yeah.
City
Right.
Hall.
I know right where. Yeah.
It's
right. I know what
like
you're talking
Lake
about.
Street and Addison
Yeah,
Road.
yeah. I went to Driscoll High School,
Oh, okay.
which is no longer there.
I know. It's a subdivision now.
Yeah. You talk about wanting to make yourself feel old. Go to where your high school used to be. I mean, there's high schools that are still around that are 200 years old. The one that I went to, nope, they bulldozed it down.
Yeah.
It's not there
For
anymore.
me, I went to York and Elmhurst, and that school is like 10 times the size it is when I was there.
Okay.
I mean, I drive by that school and I was like, I cannot believe how big that school is.
Yeah.
It's just gigantic.
Adding on to it, adding on to it a little bit. So tell me about this songwriting team in Nashville. You sound like a busy person.
Yeah, I've got a music publishing company down there. And
Okay.
write with different artists and songwriters. And right now we're writing for Sync for TV, film, and movies. So yeah.
Any that we all would have heard of that you're working with?
Chris Hawkey got one of my songs. She's My Kind of Crazy.
Okay.
It was playing on major market radio.
Yeah.
Caroline was a song recorded by a band called Rockland Road. It's been on the radio. It's been on the Huckabee Show. It's been on major market radio as well.
Nice.
A whole bunch of other indie artists have cut my songs.
Right. Now, is that what you do? Is that your day job, I guess, is for like?
Yeah, I do music full time.
Okay.
That's one of the things I'm doing.
Okay.
Besides performing with the band and some other stuff too.
Right.
Live music. But mostly down there, it's just about getting together and writing songwriters.
Right.
Writing with a guy named Bobby Watson right now. He's about to break out with a new record deal. And another guy named Mark McKay who is signed to Universal out of LA, and he just released 2 songs this week of mine.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you make your home here, and you're
Yeah. Nashville's kind of like a second hybrid home. I just go back there every month for like a week.
Okay. All right. Where are you from? Where you live around here?
I live in Willow Springs now.
Okay.
Originally grew up by Meadow Airport,
Gotcha.
63rd and Cicero there, and West Lawn area. And yeah, I was on the road, country. Lived in Canada for 3 months.
Wow.
So
All over the place.
Yeah.
And not to be going down the line or anything, but you look so familiar to me. I'm sitting here trying to figure out where we've seen each other before.
He probably redid your bathroom.
Is there a joke in there somewhere? That sounds, there's got to be a joke in there. He probably redid your bathroom. I don't know. That sounds like I'm waiting for a punchline.
I'm not quite sure what that means either. I did remodeling on the side, but that's not, I don't think so. I don't know. Everybody says I have a familiar face.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I'm out of Burbank.
Out of Burbank.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out. You do look familiar to me, though. Maybe you have that face.
That must be.
Yeah.
Must be. So,
All right. So do you all love Lynyrd Skynyrd music? Do you really all just love it, or you don't care what you're playing? You just like hanging out with one another?
I love it. That's why I went back to my roots.
Right.
I love it. I mean, I got these songs in my head. I'll be in the hot tub and I got Curtis Lowe going through my head, and
Way too much information there.
yeah. I have my suit on, just to clarify.
Ew, so you shower with your suit on?
No.
That's great. That's great. No, it's, I always ask that because sometimes people, you get into a tribute band because you hear, we're in a tribute band because we want to play, and the only bands that are getting hired are tribute bands. And that's not necessarily true. But some people absolutely love the music and they really want to.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast. Hey, everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike of the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast. If you've been enjoying our weekly program, we have great news for you. Just tune in to Road to Rock Radio on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Time, and you can hear a rebroadcast of one of our past episodes. Then again on Thursdays at 7 p.m., you can hear our most current episode brought to you by the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66.
So go to roadtorock.org, scroll down, and click on Radio Station. That'll bring you to the Road to Rock Radio, a station committed entirely to the great music from Illinois, from Chicago blues born on Maxwell Street to today's rock and roll and everything in between. 24/7, all music with its roots in Illinois.
You were a young kid when you got into it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And because of your father and the 16, what was it, the Bronco and the whole bit, I think you told us a story.
Well, yeah, that was, I started playing guitar when I was 3,
Right.
dragging his guitar around because obviously it was always there. He was in with him too as well, and Throb, and so it was always there. VHS, I did grow up in the VHS era. I know what that is.
Yeah.
I remember George Thorogood was the first VHS, and there was a Scorpions VHS. Just wore him out, live concerts. I want to do. He did it, so he taught me everything that I know pretty much. As I grew up, taught myself some stuff. My whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about the classic rock or Southern rock sound. All right. And I know this sounds like a cliche question, but it is appropriate. So what's your guitar rig?
It's a Gibson Les Paul. I have the amp I'm using right now is a Wong's. That's a Chinese boutique amp, EVH cabinet. So pretty much just Les Paul into a tube head. And that's it. And I got a Boss distortion pedal.
Is the amp modeled after?
Yeah, it's actually modeled after a Soldano.
Okay. Nice.
And then the overdrive channel and the clean channel is off of a Bogner.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted something a little different, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the Marshalls and the EVHs and everything. I was like, let me try this.
Yeah. So, I've got a Bad Cat. I want it to be different too. And
there's one of those in Jim's at Jam Lab. I'm pretty sure one of those.
Yeah, I bet you it is.
Yeah, those sound good.
I wanted to be different with it too.
Yeah. Oh, you are different.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's like channel 1 is a Vox AC30, and the second channel is Marshall, and they sound completely different. I mean, they're not. It's not the kind of amp where channel 1 and channel 2 cascade into one another. No, they are two separate amps. Yeah, right. There's 2 transformers, 2 power amps, everything inside one box, inside of and it's a combo amp. So you still have to have your pedal board and the whole bit to do whatever you want to do, but you have to want clean and chimey, or do I want to have that Marshall kind of a sound?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I'm curious. I'm getting to a point here. Who are my other guitar players?
Mitch and me.
Okay. So what's your rig? What are you playing?
I play with 89 Strat.
Okay.
And it goes right into Hughes and Kettner amp bottom.
Okay. Nice.
And I have original tube screamer from this late 70s.
Right.
That adds a little sauce to the sound.
Nice.
With Skynyrd, you don't really need a lot.
Yeah, right.
I have a that I use it just for like the noise gate and the tremolo and what else I got the phaser for Call Me the Breeze.
Yeah, right.
But there's amp models in there. I don't use it. I just turn them off. I go right straight through my amp.
That's kind of. What's your rig?
I play a 84 Yamaha SPG 2100.
Yep.
Through a Marshall vintage 40.
I forgot the combo, the 40.
Yeah, it's a 40 combo.
TSL 40.
That's my son.
He was there when I bought it. And he says, "Hey, it's good," so I bought it.
I walked into some stranger's house and bought it.
Yeah. Walked into a stranger's house and bought it.
Yeah. One of them offer up deals or whatever,
Right. So in the quest to obtain the authentic sound, you guys are using tube amps, you're using guitars. I didn't even ask you about your pedal board. You using a pedal board at all?
I just have a Boss Distortion and a wah pedal.
Perfect. See, I don't even know where I'm going to go with this now because they just pretty much answered. They answered exactly the way I was hoping they were going to answer.
Yes, they did.
And that just completely kills the fact. I can't even go into. Saw a Lynyrd Skynyrd Tribute band like a year ago, and they were playing a modeling thing going direct to the PA.
Yeah, that's
okay. Just because you're playing the chords and in the right key doesn't mean you sound like Lynyrd Skynyrd. And it sounded like it could have been 3 keyboards up there.
Yeah.
For all I know, you got to have that sound.
You gotta have that tube. You gotta push some air.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that modeling stuff. I don't know. It's
because it's Southern rock, right? It's not straight rock and roll, really. It's Southern rock, so you got to have a little bit of twang.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it's at.
Slapping the neck of the guitar, you got to hear the twang in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not going to sing if it don't have the twang.
Yeah. You hauling a Hammond around with you?
No, I've got a nice Leslie simulator I use.
Okay.
Sounds on my Nord Electro 6.
Okay.
So I alternate and split it for piano organ.
Wow. Yeah. That's good.
It works well. It sounds great. It's got a white baby ranch shell.
Yeah.
So it looks like get the Billy Paul thing going on.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Without the curly long
Funny story with the shell. Stan sends me 2 pictures, a red one and a white one. And he goes, which one do you like? And he goes, well, I like the red one. And I go, well, Stan, Billy Powell played a white one. He goes, oh. I said, so what'd you end up doing? Both.
Why not?
It's a Polish flag.
That's right. It is.
I just rehearsed last night a place in Aurora called Gremlin Studios, and we walked in. They have a Hammond P3 there. It was amazing. One with my own naked eyes. It was pretty cool to see that. The electrical outlet was behind it, and we couldn't get to it. It was that heavy. Yeah, it was that heavy. And it was sitting on carpet. So it's not like it moved. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be the one to break this. So we're just going to find an extension cord, not behind the Hammond.
Back in high school, I played with a keyboard player that he had the B3 organ cut in half. He cut just the top, but he had the Leslie. We had to move that around. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They didn't have motion sound and all this other stuff that you wanted a Leslie. You got to bring.
Right. Well, the sad thing about it is there's not a lot of them left, and the ones that are left are all cut in half.
Right.
So now what do you do with it?
Well, that motion sound does a pretty good job of replicating.
Yeah.
I must admit.
Yeah. So do you guys dress up like them? I mean, how much of a tribute band are you? Because there's tribute bands that are like, hey, we don't look like them. We don't sound like them. We play the music the way we want to play it, and we're done with it. Or are you the complete opposite end? You look like them, you dress like them, you sound like them?
We sound like them.
Okay.
We have our own look. I mean, It's not like, we're out there with shorts and a T-shirt. Rob does that.
Well, nobody sees me anyway.
Right.
Yeah. But he sees
we
else.
got, it's not, we dress accordingly. I mean, if you see our videos, you'll see that we have the clothing.
Right.
Because we said that a long time ago. Nobody in the band looks like anybody from Skynyrd. So let's just get the music right, which we did.
Yeah. It's like, and which Skynyrd era do you want to see? I just saw Skynyrd this past summer at Ravinia.
I was there too.
Were you there?
Yeah.
with ZZ Top?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nobody, no original members there. In fact, I'm trying to think of the one guy that's been with them the longest. The guitar player, Ricky.
Ricky.
Yeah. Ricky Medlock was there, but I didn't recognize anybody else on stage.
Yeah.
But the music was still good though.
Yeah.
Best gig you guys have played?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You know that
he's the drummer. I voluntarily asked the drummer.
Asked the drummer.
Yeah. Okay.
You know that LaPorte, Indiana show, right?
Yeah.
That was cool. I think that was the best Arts in the Park in LaPorte, Indiana. That was one of the best we've had so far.
Yeah.
I think we had
over 2,000.
Was it that many?
Yeah.
There were quite a few people out there.
That is fun. I've played that show before. That is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's a great
Julia is really great.
Yeah.
I mean, we really liked working with them, and the sound guy loved the band. He actually referred us to another agent, which got us another job this coming July.
Right.
Nice.
As far as venue and sound and everything though goes, I think that's probably one of the tops. And then the Arcata show a couple of weeks ago was pretty awesome.
I've gone to Arcata like I don't know for how many years. I've seen so many bands. I was at Arcata before Ron Onesti remodeled.
Sure.
Years and years ago, and I've always wanted to play Arcata, and the chance came to play, and we started loading in, and I'm just standing there on that stage looking at that empty seats, and I was like, we finally made it.
I think we've times. I think
I don't work for Ron.
Ron. The podcast is looking for sponsors.
I was going to say,
we did do a podcast with Ron a while ago.
That's right.
There you go. Huh?
He should be sponsoring us.
Ron was a great guy. The staff was awesome. The sound guy, Eric, we just did a phenomenal. We just recently got a hold of the video. Stan got an email from Rich through Dropbox, and I watched the whole thing today, and it's pretty good. I think you guys will be happy when you see it all.
We'll send it our way. We're waiting.
We just got it today.
Oh, yeah. So what's the story you guys can't stop telling? There's got to be a story, something.
Oh, that's the bass player's
there was that
job.
one time.
That's the bass player's job. He's good at telling the story. We miss you, Johnny.
Did it involve him?
No,
Oh, God, everything involves him.
Probably the best story I can come up with is with Mitch. Mitch is like, he made Freebyrd .20. Every time someone left the band, Mitch goes, well, I know a guy. And he comes in and it's the perfect fit. He got Kevin first. Then he got
Yeah.
And then when Chris moved to Manitowoc, he got Johnny. And it's the perfect match because those each other for 30 years. I mean, Johnny's told me, I saw Kevin born. You know, I mean,
That's kind of creepy.
Not in a hot tub, I hope.
No. So I mean, it really brings a sense of camaraderie and three-quarters of the band have
Well, that's
played
good.
together for 30 years.
Yeah, and it seems like you guys like hanging out when you're not.
Oh,
playing.
we have so much fun at practice. We're like, hey, let's stop the jokes.
What is in practice? What's that?
We're here to rehearse. We're telling jokes. We're drinking beer. You know,
Yeah.
we're here to practice.
Maybe doing podcasts.
Yeah.
We'll get better at
So,
it.
Yeah. Well, we're already good at drinking beer and stuff.
Yeah, we are.
No.
We are.
no, seriously though, I have to thank Mitch because you know he just brought the perfect people in.
Good.
Just the abs, and this lineup is I couldn't be happier.
Good,
I think
good.
too.
Do you think, playing this kind of music, I mean, I haven't seen you guys. I would like to get out to see you guys if I ever have a night off myself. But do you think this music's kind of reaching out and speaking to a younger generation of people nowadays?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
For
Oh,
sure.
we good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We played the, when we played the Roxy,
Yeah.
there was a group, well, two groups for sure of younger kids that were calling out songs. And then when we were finished, I went off stage and I was talking to another couple of guys, early 20s. And they're asking, well, are you guys going to do Every Mother's Son? Are you going to, I'm like, can't even believe you guys know.
Yeah, right.
You don't, I mean, seriously, where do you guys get that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
But yeah, I think the younger generation is latching on to some of the older stuff because everything today is so cookie cutter and,
Yeah.
you know, it's on YouTube for 10 minutes and it's gone. I mean, how gonna last? It doesn't have the enduring factors that, you know, all the rock bands that came up in the 60s and 70s.
Of course.
Right.
It just doesn't.
Yeah, nobody's going to remember
Yeah.
Correct.
you know,
So, I mean,
nobody's going to
it's-
care about that.
Right.
Hopefully. I don't know.
Well, maybe late at night. Remember that?
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. So it's nice to see, though, that some of the younger kids are latching onto it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
hanging out.
there's another cool story too. We did Willow Fest and we were done with our set and a guy comes up, Mitch and I were in the back, we were having a beer, having pizza, and a guy comes up with our set list. He goes, "We sign it?" I go, "Yeah, we'll sign it." He goes, "You know, I'm a metal guy. I love Metallica and all that heavy stuff. And I saw you guys on the bill and I was Lynyrd Skynyrd. Yeah." He says, "After seeing you guys, you've made me Lynyrd Skynyrd fans.
Wow.
This music's amazing." Remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy's a metal guy. And we turned him on to Skynyrd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, what I always find funny, and I don't get into the conversation every time because I don't have this much patience and time, but that's a prime example. Somebody comes up and says, you know, I've hated Skynyrd. I can't stand it. You know, I'm a Metallica fan. I absolutely love Metallica. About Lynyrd Skynyrd I liked until I met you guys. Well, the funny thing is, you were a Skynyrd fan, you didn't know it because, you know, just because they added more distortion to their guitars doesn't mean that it's not the same kind of music. It really is. In fact, you could probably play a lot of Metallica songs in the style of Lynyrd Skynyrd and vice versa. I mean, it's the chord progressions are all freaking the same and, you know, everything. It's not that difficult. And the funny thing is, I just literally saw, you were talking about Zakk Wylde. Everybody knows him from playing with Ozzy and Black Label Society and everything. Go onto YouTube and just search for young Zakk Wylde when he was like 6 years old. He was playing in the parking lot of a True Value hardware store with a 3-piece band, right? With that Southern Flag Les Paul, right?
Yeah.
And he talked about how, he can play all kinds of music, but his favorite kind of music is Southern rock.
Yeah.
And when you listen to Zakk Wylde play Southern rock, it is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like, man, it's like he made his money and got his fame by playing with Ozzy, but that you can tell that's not his heart.
Right.
It really isn't, man.
Yeah.
He can play. God, I heard his version, a live version of him playing Mississippi Queen, played the shit out of that guitar in that song. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Is that when he was playing the acoustic guitar?
No, he was still,
There's one of them doing
he was
on
very
acoustic.
young. Oh yeah. No, he was very young. I mean, he looked like he must have just gotten a driver's license. Really. Yeah, he was very young. So
And Pride and Glory, that's all pretty much.
Yeah, Pride
Southern
and Glory.
rock.
You've heard that Pride and Glory. That was his whole Southern rock band.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So
pretty fascinating.
There's a great video of him with Les Paul at the Hitty Room in New York.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. And those have always been guys like him have always been my favorite guitar players. Zakk Wylde, Slash, rock guitar players that always have one foot in the blues, a little bit in the country kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've never ever tried to play like Eric Johnson. I couldn't do it if I started. I couldn't do it if somebody held a gun to my head. Right. Because I wouldn't even know where to start.
Right.
But
Well, that's the beauty. You get a Strat in Rory Gallagher's hands.
yeah.
Steve Vai's hands, Stevie Ray Vaughan's hands, Jimi Hendrix's hands. It's the same guitar,
Right.
but they're completely different. They're not even close to each other.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
That's the beauty about music and guitars, I guess.
So where can people find you guys or see you guys live? What do you got? Got any gigs coming up in about the next 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah, our next show is Old Republic, March 15th.
15th, yeah.
March 15th. Then we're at the Broken Oar,
Nice.
April 13th. And we're opening for Molly Hatchet April 19th at Lincoln Square Theater in Decatur.
Oh wow! Oh
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
What date is that?
April 19th.
April 19th.
I believe
The
it's
day before
19th.
Easter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
April 19th? Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to bring up anything dark, but didn't Molly band member, an original band member, not too long ago?
Well, they're all gone.
They
They're
are. I
all
think.
gone.
Yeah.
There are
they all
no
are
original members left.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
As far as
yeah.
I know.
I fought one original member though. Maybe he wasn't with the band anymore, and he just passed away.
Oh,
Very possible.
I thought there was one person in there that was still original.
no.
No?
No.
Yeah, I think they've all been gone for a while, too.
Yeah.
Gary was the last one in Skynyrd. He left us in March.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And Billy Powell passed on my birthday.
Oh, no kidding. Wow. That's man. I'm gonna have to check that out and see if we can get out and see that. I like to see these guys. I like to see Molly Hatchet.
I've seen Molly Hatchet before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. And what about website and everything like that? Who's got all that under control for you?
Yeah, I'm the admin for
Okay.
that. You can get us at freebirdrocks.com.
Okay.
That's a Y, the bird instead of I.
And the bird. Freebyrd
So
rocks.
when the guy designed the logo, he had the I, and I go, that looks great. I love that, but just change the I to a Y. So it's got the Skynyrd spelling with all the Ys.
Right.
That's what we did.
Oh.
And then we're on Facebook, same thing, facebook.com/Freebyrd. We got a YouTube page. You can get to the YouTube page through Facebook. There's a link on there. There's a link on our website too for YouTube. We're on Instagram. I want to get on X, but I haven't had time to do that. But eventually we'll be on X.
All right. Get all wherever you can.
That's right.
Exactly.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for coming out. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hope to see you guys out soon.
Well, yeah, we'll be at the Historical Museum across the street in September.
Oh, yeah.
September 20
On the roof, yeah.
On the roof.
26th.
That roof rocks. It's
Yeah.
Yep.
No, they treated us really good over there, so we're really happy to go back there.
good.
So
Yeah. Hopefully this time we get to play on the roof.
yeah.
Oh, did it rain?
Got rained out, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the night.
That tornado.
That's right.
It was the night of the tornado.
Yeah,
That's right.
You guys got hit. I was
right.
really.
It was their
really
fault.
sad.
with them. They brought
It was their fault
I've never had a tornado in Joliet before.
until Freebyrd with a Y came out. It was the Y that did it.
All righty, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Don't live too fast. Troubles will come, and they will pass. Go find a woman, oh baby, you find love. And don't forget, son, there is someone above. And be
Well, there you have it. Free by RD.
Free by. That was Freebyrd.
That was.
Yeah. Hey, fun guys, man. They hung out a little bit afterwards here. We talked a little bit.
Yeah.
They're, they are all, they're all professionals. They all do a lot of stuff. You can tell.
Yeah, they
They've
do.
been around a lot. So
Yeah, they do. It's a nice and great group of guys. They love what they do. They love them. They all like the music.
Yeah.
They're not doing, have a job.
right.
They're doing it because they like the
Because
music.
they love the music. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
So
that makes a big deal, man. If you don't like the music, you're not going to want to play it.
yeah.
Or if you do, you're not going to play it well.
Right.
So
So go out and see them. As always, we say go out and see them.
always definitely see all our guests from the podcast. And Tuesday for another exciting episode of the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast. See ya. The Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.
Chicago.